Okay, you should come in here briefly.
Awesome. So should I guess we'll want to have a look at it.
Yep, so I think the last time we were here, you saw the cave, but it was unfinished and basically just a cave.
Right.
There's been work done since then so that you can kind of show everybody what's going on.
Awesome. Well, let's have a look. It's already looking cool. I like that. I like the effect of those, the X's. As you're... They just look right.
Yeah, it's been a bit trying to figure out how to best represent crossbeams.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know, it's supposed to be giant iron beams that are holding everything up, and then the cross beams to keep them from bowing into each other.
Oh, okay, yeah. Factory blocks. So these ones are... Is it factory blocks on the carpenter wedge slopes?
Yes.
Okay. It looks very good. Ooh.
There's a giant lake of lava underneath.
Oh, yeah. Make you nervous walking over the grates.
So as you take the main path, I would suggest go right first.
Okay.
That's a little small little build that I did just for aesthetics.
All right.
But then after you're done, then the main path is where you head off the other direction.
Okay. So let's go right. Ah, yes, I remember seeing this one on Twitter. And I thought that at the time, that the lava looked really awesome incorporated into the building. And it does. It definitely does. I can just see myself walking off this path into a pit, into a thing of lava, as I'm glancing at chat as I walk.
Either that or into a pit of orcs.
Yeah, well, they'll probably ignore me, I hope, unless someone changes my status.
Why, whatever do you mean?
You'd never do that. Oh, wow.
But yeah, this was my representation of a dwarven forge.
It looks great. Definitely has the forge feel for me. Complete with the dwarven crafting tables. Oh, I like this. It's something you don't notice until you come and look over here and then look to the side. Because from the front, I didn't even notice that the lava was on, well, basically a canal, sort of.
Yeah, it's like a lava aqueduct.
Yes, a lava duct.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking at first, but I was like, sound right.
Igneous duct?
There you go. Get all fancy.
Although, yeah.
And then off this path, this is the main path to get out of here.
Alright.
One of the things that I did also add in here is there are hidden Balrog spawners.
Ooh.
So take a wrong turn and you're going to be fighting a Balrog.
Oh. That sounds unpleasant.
And they're big.
Yes.
And they're mean.
Well.
And they actually destroy blocks when they whip you.
Oh, lovely.
Which is a little secret why most of them are far enough away not to be triggered while you're on the path. Just because I don't want to have to destroy the path.
Yeah. And I suppose you could set them to put, oh, what do you call that block that prevents things from being destroyed?
Yeah, that doesn't work.
It doesn't work with it.
However he wrote the code for their whip, it will destroy any block but bedrock.
Lovely.
Yeah, even witherproof blocks apparently don't stop them. I tried.
That's unfortunate.
Just a little. But then that also encourages people to stay on the path. As you get off the path, then you get a world of hurt. Path means safety.
This
well,
is
relative safety. You still have wargs and orcs and urukai.
Yeah. Which I can ignore at the moment, but when you're playing the pack, you will not be ignoring those guys, because they will not be ignoring you.
Not normally, no.
They'll be in your face and in your business and up your nose and every other place they can put themselves. The path is very well lit. For the most part.
Well, if you take night vision off, it's actually, there's just enough ambient light to really give you that cave-eerie feeling.
Actually, I do have it off. That's why I was remarking on, for the most part, a large section of it's fairly well lit.
Oh, yeah. No, I did that just so that people wouldn't lose their way and, maybe decide to arbitrarily jump off the path.
And trigger the Balrogs, etc., etc.
Yeah, I was trying to be fair and nice and give people a fair shake to get out of here.
Mm-hmm. Alright, I'm gonna put night vision on just for a moment so we can have a good look at this pillar here.
Yeah, what I did on these little platforms was literally just kind of built it into the cave formations, so that it looks like it was literally built into the cave rather than
the cave
out of the cave.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And the path itself is supported on pillars. Nice.
Yep.
Makes sense. Alright, let's turn the night vision back off. And see if I can fall off. Ooh, that's a steep angle.
See, I did not notice that in Sphax they're more of a orangey tint, I guess, for those blocks.
Yeah. Reddy
Because in the
orange.
default, they're more of a reddish tint, because it's
red
limestone, so...
Well, it's granite. Oh, you mean the pillars?
Well, the entire cave is made out of actual red limestone.
Oh.
So in the default, they've got a reddish hue to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, and in Sphax, the blue limestone, well, it's not blue, I mean. It's a gray. Like, it doesn't look blue at all. And before they added the textures to Sphax, it looked a much nicer blue. Now I don't like it. Before I liked it. So yeah, the whoever made the textures for all the different varieties of limestone for Sphax, for some reason took a lot of the color out of it, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I may have to post in that particular piece of the texture pack to have them kind of take another look at their color palette.
Yeah, because I mean, you look at them and you can't even see why is it called blue or red, because there's none of that color in it. At least, not that I can see, and I don't have colorblind issues, at least not that I'm aware of. I should qualify that, because my mom did actually have some issues, so... It's always possible I inherited that and just never knew.
Right. Well, because if you're colorblind, how would you know?
Exactly.
Unless somebody told you.
But honestly, I don't think I am, because I took a test once that showed, different colorblind things to see if you could tell if you're colorblind, and it said that I wasn't, so... Although...
I am very slightly. Like, I can tell that a red is a red, but I don't have the shading. So, I couldn't tell you that, if there was, like, 3 shades of red, they'd all look pretty much the same shade to me.
Okay. Well, from what I understand, there is a lot of different kinds of color blindness. It's not just simple, red-green blindness or, the other major one, which I totally forget at the moment. There's, like, many, many subtle variations on it. I guess whatever the genetics are that cause color blindness is, to use a technical term, variable penetrance. And I think I see a Balrog.
Oh, there you go. See, sometimes they're close enough.
And he's pissed off, and I think I'll just keep moving. He's not pissed off at me, so we'll just leave him over there. This is an enormous path.
Yeah, the entire length of just the caves are almost as long as the distance from the entrance to Moria to the entrance of the cave.
Oh, wow. Well, I can believe it. And Robert on Twitch, hello, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today?
Hey, Robert, how you doing?
We are taking a trip through the latest spiffy things that GreatOrator's been working so hard on the dev server for Tolkiencraft. Red glowstone. And Robert says hello back to you there, GreatOrator.
Hope he's enjoying the tour.
Hopefully. So these torches, they're orc torches. Well, it's how nice of the orcs to light the path.
Right. So if you take the left path,
The left, okay.
you can go and visit Balrogs.
But I don't want to visit Balrogs. Should I visit Balrogs?
Well, that's up to you. You already kind of saw one. The right path is the right path to get out of here.
Ah, okay. I'm just worried about them destroying your dev area here. You know,
True.
with their whips of
Nastiness.
uberness. Yes.
And then the portal that used to be over in the waterworks has been moved over to here.
Uh-huh.
Because this is actually kind of the direction I wanted people to go anyway.
Right. That makes sense.
And this actually allows you to fly, run, walk, however, much closer to the east gate than the other exit had.
Well, that
Because
makes sense.
long-term goal is to have Moria, you could walk from one end to the other. These portals won't be necessary, but in
Right.
the meantime, it kind of expedites the missing content between them.
Mm-hmm. That I understand. That makes sense. And Robert had a question. His question is, how do you determine the distance between the areas? Is it based on the distances in the books?
No, because really Moria, they didn't have much description on the overall size. It was just, they talked about how many, I think it was several days or a little over a week that they spent going from one side to the other. So there really was no scope or official size. Most of what you see is, for pictures, has just been from descriptions and movies. But like most descriptions that Tolkien gave, the dwarves built big.
Mm-hmm.
For as short, stocky, short-legged people they were, they sure loved their stuff big.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Alright, so is this a new room as well?
No, this is the old exit that went from, before I moved the gate. So this is just still the same east gate.
Okay, I thought it looked familiar, but I figured I'd better ask, just in case.
Right. Let's see. I think I have saved. Yes.
Oh,
we'll go look at the. Yeah, we'll go look at the newest area that I've been working on.
Alrighty. And it already has fire sounds. I don't know why. Ooh.
This is Dol Guldur. My waypoint is not exactly where you would come in at, but the main ruins are over here.
Alright, let me just put on the night vision here, so we can get a better look at it since it's night out right now. Oh. Oh, wow. This looks amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
the main
I'm speechless, really.
Should find somewhere over here. Oh, here it is. This will be the main entrance where theoretically everybody would come in at.
Right.
I'm in the process of replacing the stone stairs so that everything is a Dol Guldur brick.
Okay.
Once I get the main build finished, there's actually going to be catacombs, and we has plans for quest chains that will make you have to come here and go through the evils of the catacombs.
Well, that is going to be awesome. When I looked at this is this from the movie? Is there... It really reminds me of the movie.
Well, it is, because that's where you saw it was in The Hobbit, but Dol Guldur was actually mentioned in, just very briefly in The Hobbit, mostly in the appendices. It's also referred to as the Necromancer's Hill. This is where the quote-unquote necromancer was hiding before the White Council realized he was there and then banished him to Mordor because he was actually Sauron.
Right.
It played a bigger part in The Hobbit than it did in the actual book.
Mm-hmm.
But in the appendices and the extended tales, you can find out more about what was going on here. But this is actually where Sauron got his start, even before the first time he was destroyed.
Oh, okay.
This was his fortress and castle, obviously not in ruins at the time, but...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sauron's original stomping grounds.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you did a fantastic job of capturing what I saw in the movie, because as soon as you brought me here and I was looking at it, I was like, I know this place.
Excellent.
So that's why I was speechless, because it captures it perfectly.
I'm glad to hear that. Alright, let's see if we can get to the next one. I should have the bookmark.
Alright.
I must not move for 10 seconds to fast travel. Which seems counterintuitive.
It does.
Seem like fast travel if
you're slow.
You have to wait.
10 seconds is a very long time.
When I hit V to fast travel, or I mean to talk, it was like, nope, sorry, you can't do it anymore. Start over.
Oh, I see. That's why the sudden silence.
Yeah, I was like, well, really? Come on. So let me get over into the right position.
Alright.
Now this build is actually not complete. It just got started a day or two ago. But just to let people know it's just yet another area that will be released soon enough.
Awesome. I can't wait to see what it is.
The achievement should give you a hint.
Settlement of Man. Well, there's lots of Settlement of Men, though, isn't there?
Well, there was only one that was known as, and that was Bree.
Ah! Actually, that was going to be my guess, but that's because I cheated and I know what the Twitter says. And what you told me earlier, so I was going, well, that might have been it, but I don't want to guess it, correctly because of that, so. The Settlement of Man did not actually say Bree to me, but I suppose it ought to have. So, who is...
Yeah, so this is what Tegan has actually taken the point to get this built and brought into the map so that we can get it released.
Awesome.
But this is what has been accomplished so far. Like I said, still very much a work in progress. There's only a handful of the area built so far, but it will be, I can assure you, much significantly bigger.
Wow. Well, it's already looking amazing. I like the white against the color of the spruce. It's very... I know it's just wool and spruce, but it looks nice together. It looks really nice.
Yeah, it's actually one of those traditional medieval palettes, because a lot of medieval builds, they use some kind of white block, usually wool, because in vanilla that's all you have.
Right.
And then the spruce for the dark contrast.
I always wondered why in medieval buildings they tended to, you know, have the white with the brown. Because doesn't the white end up getting dirty and then it, you know, all doesn't look very clean anymore? Did they, like, whitewash it on a yearly basis or something?
Well, I think it was more to represent the bleach, you know, how the sun bleached the buildings were. Is what that was representing, because they didn't necessarily use stone for everything, and the materials they did use, which was wood, would tend to get bleached out. And I just think over time our depiction of that has evolved into the white wool sides.
Right. I guess that makes sense, because actually wood will tend to bleach to more of a gray. Like as it gets older.
Right.
If you know what I mean. Yeah, sure, it bleaches a lighter color, but then it goes gray. As opposed to white. At least the wood around the house I grew up in, that's how it weathered.
Pretty much. But yeah, so this is what we've got so far here. So that's, you know, for now, those are the areas that we have that we're working on. Rivendell will have been improved because I have added spawners to put elves, so that at least it's more than just orcs when you're there.
Oh, this is good.
And actually, because they are going to be spawners for the actual Lord of the Rings mobs, they should actually attack the orcs.
Oh, excellent. So
you will not have to go at it alone.
That is wonderful. Because Rivendell filled with orcs just seemed wrong for some reason.
Right? And some other news for Tolkiencraft. There is a new member that is not joining the server, but joining the Tolkiencraft team. Her name is nickname is Snow Shepherd, and she is actually going to be creating some music for background music.
Oh, really?
So you'll have, in some areas like Moria, you'll have music that's actually not Minecraft, but it was created specifically for the area that you're in, as well as some other just various sound effects and things to add to the pack.
That is fantastic. Wow. I can't wait to hear some of the music then.
Actually, for you, Val, when you have time not in your stream, I actually can get you the link to the music. So, I mean, and even if you wanted to do it while you're in your stream so people could hear it too, because she doesn't mind if everybody in the world hears it.
Well, yeah.
I do have the one for Moria that I can get you when we're done, at least on this tour.
Sure. I can play it later for people and let them have a listen.
There you go.
Cool. Wow. So, how did you end up getting into contact with Snow Shepherd? Did she approach you, or...?
She actually approached me. I mean, I've known of her. She actually has a very popular texture pack and sound resource pack that she has created. She does high-res textures, but apparently she has fallen in love with Tolkiencraft and really wants to contribute to its success.
Well, there you go. I have to say I can't blame her for falling in love with it. I have been in love with it for a long time now.
I know, and that's also the motivation for me to keep adding the new areas like we have been. At some point, we will have the entirety of Middle-earth built in a Minecraft mod pack.
That's staggering, just the thought of that. I mean, what's been done so far is incredible. It just, yeah, the volume of work, because I know building my base, how much time I've spent doing that, so just my mind kind of boggles. Like, even doing it in creative, my mind still boggles at the amount of work that has gone into building the areas for Tolkiencraft.
Right, and it's funny because you mentioned creative, and a lot of people do, is really, the only difference between building in creative and building survival is in creative, I don't have to mine for the resources.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't speed up the process of building any faster to be in creative than it does being in survival, really.
Well, you do have the creative wand, which does a little bit
Well,
more
for
than...
the mod packs, yes,
Yeah.
we do. But yeah, that was something that a lot of people mention, and not just in regards to this pack, but just in general, is that people that build in creative, and it's like, well, you have flying, so you don't have to worry about, some kind of structure to stand on.
Mm-hmm.
But really, doing creative is just cutting out the mining and resource
Yeah.
gathering process for the most part. That's it.
Yeah, you save maybe a tiny bit of time breaking and replacing blocks because the blocks break instantly, but I mean, that's not that significant at all compared to the amount of time.
Really.
Yeah.
And another common misconception, using things like MC Edit, World Edit, Schematica, and even World Painter. Maybe this is because I'm not some kind of exceptional pro at them, but I can assure you they don't save as much time as you think. They just change the focus. Like sometimes when you bring in these large builds, I mean, you look at the big vast flat area just over there to the northeast, that's got to be terraformed.
Uh-huh.
That takes a long time to terraform.
Yes, it does. Having done some of that myself, very little compared to what you guys have had to do. But yeah, it does take a significant amount of time. And that's why I know I may sound a little bit repetitive. I'm going, wow, fantastic, amazing, because I'm just thinking, how long would it take me to do something like this and have it look this fantastic? So,
hey, your base is not that bad itself. I've been watching. It's I've honestly been trying to think, is there some way I could just incorporate that in the mod pack normally?
Well, I have to say, when I get it, what I finish consider completed, if you want to take a copy of it and use it in the mod pack somewhere, that I'd be honored.
I just might, because it fits the Elvish build theme very well, and I like it. It's awesome. It is.
Well, thank you.